Shalom Israel. Quick video. Giving all praise to Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostle, elder bishops, great millstone. Most salutations to the brother teaching word for the hopeful elect, soon to be elect, most high will. The hopeful extended elect, Shalom, blessings. You know, a lot of stuff going on. We going into prophecy, the war, MOTB. We stay on those topics, but we still continue to do, you know, other topics like a little bit of history or quick videos about, what's going on with Israel, meaning Israel, the real Israel, so-called Black, Latino, Native Americans, women, and two-thirds. We cover all those bases. Going to the Hebrew, going to the Greek, we go into history and things like that. There was such thing as all black Israelites, Israelites are all blacks and not Latino and Native Americans. And it's not, it used to be louder than it is now. It's not so much because, if you're going according to truth and logic even doesn't make sense. And the crazy part about that is, like, a lot of people, which they still think that, when our people embrace, rappers, actresses, musicians, they consider, even when they're Latino or Latina, they consider them black. And they're not gonna, and even if they did find out they were Latino, they'd be like, and they'll kind of, get that just to maybe like, yeah, I didn't know that. But they'll still listen to their music. They'll still consider them black or what have you. We all know, most of us know, our people know Cardi B. She's a Dominican. Her father, I think her father and her mother is Dominican, if I'm not mistaken. And she proudly, expresses her roots about being Dominican. She said she hate when people call her Mexican. And Mexicans are a part of our family too. But, she specifically making it known that she's not. And that's according to what it is. And, it's, I guess it's, you can, okay if you get bothered by it. But, within this truth, a lot of times those are blurred lines, and we think in the perspective as long as we're Israel, but we do express tribes and express what tribe we're from. But sometimes we could be so-called black, but we could be really from a Latino tribe, and vice versa. So I just wanted to point out some things that are not so obvious to Jake. Like, and then the only time when they, I've heard black women come against Cardi B, like, she's acting black, but they love her music. They love, and I don't think they even raise eyebrows or ask questions along those lines unless Cardi B comes out to, like, I'm not black, the men, then they get mad and say this and that. But when her spirit, before they knew, they was feeling her spirit, they thought she was black. Same thing with Mariah Carey. Her father's Latino. Damn, I keep saying. But, one and the same. Latino is the male, way to say Latino, basically. So, yeah, Mariah Carey, she's a, we could still get put in the category of Whitney Houston and put in too with the R&B, and which is mostly carried, the torch of R&B and hip hop is mainly carried by black people. But like I said, even going back in hip hop, foundation of hip hop includes Latinos as well as blacks. But Amara La Negra, everybody thought she was doing blackface, but she's a Afro Latina too. But the thing is too, like, let's take. And then you say, well, Cardi B, you know, her skin color and you know, they can play on that a little bit. She's a light skinned woman and she always has a but she's ratchet in another way. And they say, well, you know, all right, give or take, y'all had that when she's Latina. Well, Trina, guess what? Which a lot of women follow and love too. She did a she's doing an interview with Cam Newton. Nah, see, and that's why we watch. That's why I watch shows and stuff like that of these celebrities and because I really don't like celebrities like that. But when I get info from them or see interviews of them, you know, it prompts me to do a video and it puts some things in perspective. Like, man, where is it? I can't even find it. But Cam Newton, uh, he's a former football player, but he has a podcast and he interviews rappers and everybody, actresses and musicians, all that. But Trina, which used to be one of my favorite rappers, she's a ratchet ass rapper, but it's something about her that I like, you know. Maybe it's the realness and, you know, she's pretty to me. But Trina, her father's Dominican, man. So she's a Dominican. Um, Now let me get. See, they don't, and I put in what black celebs are Dominican, and they don't have Trina nowhere. Yeah, they have Trina right here. But I looked up her, you know, her information, and she's her father's Dominican, so she's a Latina. But you know, when it comes to that, they love Trina so much they don't care. I'm talking about the women and the influence thereof. So they never said Trina was acting black at any time, and I don't think they would now. But they'll pick on Cardi B because she expresses her roots that way. She expresses her being a Latina. But Trina ain't never really told anybody that she was Latina. But if when black women find out, they be like, they gonna fight it at first, but then they ain't gonna care because they love Trina, and they would have picked Trina over Cardi B because, and you know, they would have believed, well, nah, Trina is truly black. But they come from the same tribe, the same ethnicity. Nori Ega, which she goes by Nori, the rapper, his he's Dominican. Let me show you who I'm talking about. He's a more of an old school rapper. He's the host of Drink Champs, but they thought he was black. I bet 99% of black people thought Nori was a black man. He's Dominican, man. His true name, what's his true name? Noriega. Let me do something. Nori, Victor James Santiago Jr., man. It's right there on screen. What race is Noriega? Manuel Antonio Noriega Marino was born in Panama City into a relatively poor Pardo or triracial family in native Panamanian, African, and Spanish, but his father is Dominican. Um, and many more. Zoe, like I just had that picture of and a lot of them would be labeled as Afro Latinos, if you will. Yeah, Zoe, she's Dominican, but she passes as a black girl all day. When she play black when she plays in movie roles over here in America, the black women be like, yeah, she did that thing, man. That's what I'm talking about. Sisters representing. They ain't gonna research, of course, but she's a Dominican. Same thing. So y'all either hypocrites or you just careless about what you know and what really pertains to reality. Who else? There's a lot of them. Dipset. I think some of them are Puerto Rican. I think Jim Jones is a Puerto Rican. Uh, a lot of Maxwell. He's old school R&B, but he did R&B music, and he's a Puerto Rican man. What ethnicity of singer Maxwell? Maxwell was born in Brooklyn, New York, the son of a Haitian mother and a Puerto Rican father, man. The fathers of the seed. We've broken many videos down, the fathers of the seed. But if any case, and Israelites know that. Israelites know that the male carries the seed. But in any case of argument, even with a worldly person, and they say, well, the mother, it could be from the mother or the father, but so he'll be so-called mixed, but he's still, so the son and the children, son and daughters, the children that he has will be mixed also. So even if they be like, well, yeah, you black, but my grandfather is Puerto Rican, or my mother is Haitian or whatever, but but my grandfather is Puerto Rican, even on the mother or the father's side. We go by the lineage of the father. But if they want to, pretend that it could be from any, well, you still have a Puerto Rican in your family. So, according to the all black tribes, you be done away with. Going back, that's why it's stupid, man. Like, you gotta, you gotta call it what it is. Like, that's a stupid analogy, man. Ain't no way you could go through history of our people. And what about the mixed people? What about Alicia Keys? Her mother's white. Like I said, I've made a video about this before, but what about the children that are black or called black that have white mothers? And I think I said Faith Evans' mother was white. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know. It might be, or she might have two black parents. But Mariah Carey, her mother's white. So it's like a two-edged sword to you learn people, man. Or you just neglecting knowledge. You just don't want to, come to the truth, reality. Who else? I think, if I'm not mistaken, the one that played Denise Hustable, Lisa Bonet, I think her mother is white. But I'm really talking about, those that, it's a lot of New York born rappers and actresses, and as well as Cali born from, actors, rappers from all over the world, all over the states that are, I just said New York because a lot of Puerto Ricans are based in New York and the eastern region. And there's a lot of them that our people thought was black. That started in hip hop. It's more. I think Lala, she's a Latina. Is she an actress or a model? Let me just put actress. Lala Anthony, ethnicity. But you think the black women love her? World star, black basketball wives, hip hop wives, whatever. It's a lot of them. Anthony, who describes herself as a Afro-Puerto Rican, man. Now, you have Jake walking down, and she's a pretty-ass woman. You have Jake in the hood, what have you, any of these. And they say they pass her, or she passes them. They're an Israelite, they know they're Israelite. They all coming from all black tribe mentality. They're gonna be like, oh damn, what the, but well, wait a minute, your mind, according to your truth and what you live, you don't supposed to be mess with no Puerto Ricans or no Latinos. She can't even be your wife. According to you, she's a heathen. Women Puerto Rican. Let me just look up women Puerto Rican celebrities. Women Puerto Rican celebrities. I just trying to get out some information. I don't know if I want to, I can get a scripture. Rosie Perez, when she was younger, she was more attractive, but Jennifer Lopez, when she was younger, she was attractive. She kind of muscled out now a little bit. But she was thick and feminine when she was dancing on In Living Colors. She had a vibe to her. She had prettiness to her. Jake would have snatched her up. She's a Puerto Rican. So Jake quit fronting, man. Jake be fronting his ass off. And a real man would like all kind of women. Solomon loved all kind of. I mean, he liked all kind of women. He fell, basically fell in love with all kind of women, man. Edomites, Hamites, pretty ass Hamite, the pretty of them all. Lisa from Court Jam, she was pretty as hell back then. She's a Puerto Rican. Lisa. She's more of an old school. Jake could be grabbed, man. Jake in the neighborhood grabbed that up quick, man. Quit fronting, Jake. Vanity. Everybody was talking about Vanity. She's a Mexican. Singer, Vanity, ethnicity. She's a Mexican, man. Oh, can't mess with Vanity. She's deceased, but I'm talking about when she was alive, and she was one of the prettiest women. Apollonia, some of Prince's women. I think another Mexican. Sheila E. is a Mexican. Dana, I forget her last name. Matthews, Denise Matthews. Man, Jacob grabbed that up quick, man. What's her nationality? See, Jake just doing all that because he can't get the women and shit. That's all that is. Denise Catherine Matthews was born in Niagara Falls, the daughter of Helen Lavia James. Her mother was a Polish, and her father was Black American. Well, she could be a Judite, but from what I learned, she was a Mexican. Yeah, I guess she's a black woman. But she was passing as I don't know if Jake thought she was Mexican. Maybe that was just me. But I thought I heard that from somewhere. So she was a black woman. But in any case, but her mother was Jewish though. Polish, Jewish descent. So her mother, she got a Jewish mother. But it was a lot of Puerto Ricans and they're not going to be considered as deceiving. Now, the white woman of the NAACP, she was deceiving, but they knew she had too much soul and too much this and that. And if they found out she was Puerto Rican, they wouldn't even care. Just like J-Lo, she got a Jenny from the block, and y'all, I don't forget where I came from, and I'm still Jenny from the block. She came into a living color, and people are like, damn, she's fly, she's, she's down, she's hood, she's Puerto Rican. Now all of a sudden, everybody got to be black and shit. The fuck out of here, man. Anyway, you got to tear these people down. See, we're in the time of knowledge, wisdom, shall be the stability of time. So you can make these people look stupid as hell with their so-called logic. Anyway, I've been ranting, man. And, I just, we could pull scriptures. It says, talk about, the 12 tribes and the two kingdoms, southern and northern, and we can go to the Gadites and Native Americans being over here our brethren, and so-called Mexicans are our brethren, and damn, is that her husband and shit? I mean, our people be wilding. Anyway, yeah. So, one of my main examples was Trina. People thought she was, they never questioned her with what she, they gonna consider her black, So, and I'm telling you now, when I read that information that she's a Dominican, like Cardi B. So I wonder if they would treat Trina like Cardi B if they say she's trying to act black. You dumbasses. You've been duped. Anyway. Yeah, man. We know the scriptures. And hopefully it's edifying. To the next video. Shalom.